What honey with cloves benefits can you expect when you start taking it daily? The answer goes far beyond what most people realize. You're about to discover what's actually happening inside your body. These aren't just home remedies for seniors. This is documented science working at the cellular level. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why this combination works and what it does for health after 60. Let's get to it. You know that feeling when you lie in bed exhausted, but your mind won't shut off? You check the clock. Midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And here's what nobody tells you. You were right to worry about this. Poor sleep isn't just inconvenient. It directly increases your risk of heart disease and diabetes. But here's what most people don't realize about better sleep naturally. Your body needs an amino acid called tryptophan to make melatonin, your sleep hormone. Tryptophan competes with other amino acids to enter your brain. When you eat honey 30 minutes before bed, it causes a small insulin response. That insulin clears the competing amino acids within 15 to 20 minutes. Suddenly, tryptophan can enter your brain easily. It converts to serotonin, then to melatonin. Without this working properly, you lie awake night after night. Your stress hormones stay elevated. After just 3 nights of poor sleep, your insulin sensitivity drops 23%. With honey and cloves working together, most people fall asleep 12 to 18 minutes faster. They wake up 60% less frequently during the night. Take 1 teaspoon of raw honey with a small pinch of ground cloves exactly 30 minutes before bed. Set a timer. Your body needs that specific window. Here's something else you might recognize. That bloated feeling after meals. Irregular bowel movements. A general sense your digestion isn't right. This digestion remedy has been used for centuries, and now we know exactly why it works. You were right to be concerned. 70% of your immune system lives in your gut. When digestion is off, your immune function suffers too. But here's what's actually happening that nobody tells you. After age 40, your body produces 20 to 30% fewer digestive enzymes every decade. Meanwhile, bad bacteria multiply while good bacteria decrease. This creates inflammation in your intestinal lining. That prevents nutrient absorption and causes that uncomfortable feeling you know too well. Cloves stimulate your body to produce 40 to 60% more digestive enzymes within 45 minutes. The cloves' benefits for digestion are remarkable. Honey contains prebiotic compounds that feed good gut bacteria. Those bacteria multiply by up to 300% within 5 to 7 days. When your gut is balanced, nutrient absorption improves 30 to 40%. That's the difference between feeling tired after meals and feeling energized. Mix 1 teaspoon of raw honey with an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. Take this exactly 15 minutes before your largest meal. That timing is critical for enzyme production. You know those mornings when your knees or hands feel stiff? That general achiness in your joints? You move a bit, and it loosens up, but it's always there. This joint pain relief home remedy addresses something your doctor probably didn't explain clearly. You were absolutely right to pay attention. That stiffness is early-stage inflammation. Left unaddressed, it becomes cartilage breakdown, and eventually arthritis. But here's what most people don't realize. That pain isn't just aging. It's inflammation at the cellular level in your joint tissues. Your body produces compounds that trigger inflammatory responses. When these stay elevated, you feel stiffness and reduced mobility. Those same inflammatory markers increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. Your joint pain is actually a warning signal. Cloves contain a compound called eugenol that makes up 80 to 90% of clove oil. The health benefits of cloves for inflammation are well documented. It reduces inflammatory markers by 25 to 35% within 3 weeks. That's comparable to some prescription medications, but without side effects. Honey adds compounds that work on different inflammatory pathways. Together, they work as a natural anti-inflammatory through 7 mechanisms at once. After 18 to 21 days, most people notice joints feel 40 to 50% more comfortable, especially in the first 30 minutes after waking. Without addressing this now, you're looking at progressive damage and potentially surgery within 10 to 15 years. Take 1 tablespoon of raw honey with a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves twice daily. Morning and evening. You need twice daily dosing to maintain anti-inflammatory levels. Here's one that might surprise you. That mid-afternoon energy crash around 2 or 3 p.m. Your focus disappears. That brain fog that makes you feel like you're moving through water. You need coffee just to push through. And here's what nobody tells you about metabolic health. You were right to be concerned. Those crashes aren't normal aging. They're blood sugar problems, a direct precursor to diabetes. But here's what's actually causing this. Your blood sugar spikes after lunch to 140 or 150. Then it drops sharply within 90 minutes, sometimes to 70 or 75. That's a 70-point swing. Your body releases stress hormones to bring it back up. Those hormones make you jittery, unfocused, and tired all at once. That's where the brain fog comes from. Here's what they don't tell you about blood sugar support. Every time this happens, your cells become more insulin resistant. After months of daily crashes, you develop prediabetes, then diabetes. Honey releases glucose gradually. It raises blood sugar to only 100 to 110 and maintains that for 3 to 4 hours. No spike, no crash. Cloves improve insulin sensitivity by 18 to 21% within 4 weeks. The clove benefits for metabolism are significant. When blood sugar stays between 90 and 110 all day, you maintain consistent energy and mental clarity. Within 5 to 7 days, 75% of people report complete elimination of afternoon fatigue and brain fog. Take 1 teaspoon of honey with a pinch of cloves at breakfast. That sets up stable patterns for the entire day. You know that scratchy throat feeling when you're coming down with something? That persistent cough keeping you up? For cough, sore throat, honey has been used for generations. You've tried commercial cough drops that barely help. And here's what your doctor probably didn't mention. You were right to look for alternatives. Most cough suppressants are only marginally better than doing nothing. But here's what most people don't realize about coughs. Your throat tissues get inflamed. Your cough reflex becomes hypersensitive, triggering coughs every 3 to 5 minutes that don't clear anything. You're just irritating inflamed tissues more, extending recovery by 7 to 10 days. This also applies to seasonal allergies relief when your throat gets irritated from post-nasal drip. Honey creates a protective coating that stays in place 45 to 60 minutes. That barrier alone reduces cough frequency 60%. The honey benefits go beyond just coating. It contains compounds that fight whatever is causing the irritation. One study found honey reduced cough frequency by 45% compared to only 21% for medication, more than twice as effective. Cloves thin mucus by 30 to 40%, making it easier to clear. Within 48 to 72 hours, most people experience complete resolution. Without proper treatment, that cough typically lasts 7 to 14 days. Understanding how to mix honey and cloves properly makes all the difference. Mix 1 tablespoon of raw honey with half a teaspoon of ground cloves. Take 1 teaspoon every 3 to 4 hours when throat irritation starts. Early intervention cuts recovery time in half. Here's something gradual you probably noticed. You get a cold, and it takes 7 to 10 days to recover instead of 3 to 4. You catch everything going around. Small cuts take 3 weeks to heal instead of 1. For immune support naturally, honey and cloves offer real benefits. And here's what most doctors won't explain. This isn't just aging. This is your immune system becoming 30 to 40% less efficient each decade. But here's what's going on that nobody talks about. Your immune cells get damaged by unstable molecules called free radicals. Your body generates 10 to 20,000 of these hits per cell per day. When immune cells are damaged, they can't fight viruses and bacteria effectively. Your defense system weakens progressively. Here's what they don't tell you about the health benefits of cloves. Cloves have 30 times more antioxidant power per gram than blueberries. These antioxidants stop free radicals before they damage immune cells. Honey contains compounds that reduce bacterial load by 99.9% within 6 hours. The honey health benefits for immunity are substantial. People taking honey and cloves for 30 days show a 28% increase in immune cell activity. They get sick 40% less frequently. When they do get sick, recovery drops from 8 to 10 days down to 3 to 5. These are the real honey with cloves benefits that matter for seniors over 60. Take half a tablespoon of raw honey with a small pinch of ground cloves each morning. Your immune system is most active in morning hours. Here's something you might not connect, but you've probably felt it. Cold hands and feet, even in warm rooms. Numbness or tingling in your legs. Leg cramps at night. These are all signs of poor circulation. To improve circulation, legs need adequate blood flow. And here's what's causing the problem. As we age, blood vessels become less flexible. They constrict more easily. Blood doesn't flow as efficiently to your extremities. This isn't just uncomfortable. Poor circulation increases risk of blood clots, stroke, and heart attack. It also slows healing of any injuries to your legs and feet. For people with diabetes, this becomes especially dangerous. But here's what most people don't realize about the uses of cloves for circulation. Cloves contain compounds that help relax blood vessel walls. They prevent platelets from clumping together too easily. This improves blood flow naturally without the side effects of blood-thinning medications. Honey supports the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels dilate and stay flexible. After 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use, most people notice their hands and feet feel warmer. Leg cramps decrease by 60 to 70%. Numbness and tingling improve significantly. The honey and cloves benefits for circulation become noticeable as your vascular system functions more efficiently. Take 1 tablespoon of raw honey with a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves twice daily. Morning and evening for at least 30 days to see measurable improvement in circulation. You probably don't think about your mouth unless something hurts. But that occasional bleeding when you brush, sensitivity to hot or cold, persistent bad taste. For oral health, gums need proper care, and you were absolutely right to be concerned. These are signs of gum disease, which affects 70% of adults over 50. But here's what most people don't realize. Bacteria causing gum disease don't stay in your mouth. Within 30 minutes of brushing infected gums, bacteria enter your bloodstream. They contribute to arterial plaque. People with gum disease have 2 to 3 times higher risk of heart attack and stroke. Your oral health affects your cardiovascular health directly. Cloves contain eugenol at 85 to 95% concentration. The clove's spice benefits for dental health have been known for centuries. It reduces pain signals by 40 to 50% and kills 98% of oral bacteria within 2 hours. Dentists have used it since the 1800s. Honey creates an environment where harmful bacteria cannot survive while promoting tissue healing by 60%. After 14 to 21 days, gums look healthier, bleed 75% less, and bad breath improves 80% or more. Without addressing this, you're looking at progressive gum loss, tooth loss, and increased cardiovascular risk. Mix half a teaspoon of raw honey with a quarter teaspoon of ground cloves into a paste. After brushing morning and evening, apply to gums for 3 minutes. Then rinse. Here's one that's harder to recognize, but critically important. You feel tired all the time, no matter how much you sleep. You get overwhelmed easily by things that used to be manageable. You crave salt. You feel dizzy when standing up quickly. These are signs of chronic stress and what some practitioners call adrenal fatigue support issues. Your adrenal glands produce stress hormones like cortisol. When you're under constant stress for months or years, these glands become overworked. They can't produce hormones efficiently anymore. You end up with low cortisol when you need energy and high cortisol when you're trying to sleep. Everything feels harder than it should. But here's what most doctors won't tell you about stress recovery. Cloves contain compounds that help regulate cortisol production. They don't suppress it or artificially boost it. They help your body produce the right amount at the right time. Honey provides steady glucose that your adrenal glands need to function properly. It also contains trace minerals that support hormone production. After 3 to 4 weeks, most people notice they handle stress better. Energy feels more consistent throughout the day. That overwhelming exhaustion starts lifting. The benefits of cloves for stress management work gradually but effectively. Take 1 tablespoon of honey with a small pinch of cloves in the morning and again mid-afternoon. Consistent timing helps regulate your body's stress response patterns. Here's the most important one, though you can't see or feel it directly. And you were absolutely right to educate yourself about this. Right now, chronic inflammation is happening throughout your body at the cellular level. This is silent, low-grade inflammation, damaging tissues over years. Your doctor may have mentioned elevated C-reactive protein on blood work. That's measuring this exact process. But here's what they don't teach in medical school. Chronic inflammation is the common factor in almost every age-related disease. Heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer. Inflammatory processes are active 10 to 20 years before you notice symptoms. By the time you get a diagnosis, significant damage already occurred. Your inflammation levels predict heart attack risk more accurately than cholesterol. But most doctors focus on cholesterol and barely mention inflammation. Your body produces inflammatory messengers. When these stay elevated year after year, they accelerate aging. Normal levels should be below 1. Levels between 1 and 3 indicate moderate inflammation. Above 3 means high inflammation and doubles heart attack risk. Most people over 50 have levels between 2 and 5 without knowing it. The benefits of honey and cloves working together as a natural anti-inflammatory are remarkable. Cloves contain 30 compounds affecting multiple pathways. The main one, eugenol, reduces key markers by 32 to 41%. Honey adds compounds working on different pathways, providing an additional 15 to 20% reduction. When you take honey and cloves for 60 to 90 days, you lower levels from 3 or 4 down to 1 or below. That's moving from high risk to low risk for heart attack and stroke. You won't feel this on day 5, but your cells experience significantly less damage. Without addressing inflammation now, you're on track for a cardiovascular event within 10 to 15 years. This is where the real honey with the cloves benefits become life-changing. Take 1 tablespoon of raw honey with a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves twice daily. Morning and evening. You need 60 days minimum to shift inflammatory markers to safe levels. After 90 days, ask your doctor to test high-sensitivity C-reactive protein. The number will surprise you. Now you understand the complete picture of honey with Cloves benefits. Each benefit comes from specific mechanisms working on measurable markers. Sleep improvement within 5 to 7 days. Digestive comfort from increased enzyme activity. Joint relief from reduced inflammation. Stable energy and mental clarity from improved blood sugar. Respiratory relief within 48 hours. Immune support from increased cell activity. Better circulation within 4 to 6 weeks. Oral health from bacterial reduction. Stress resilience from adrenal support. And reduced chronic inflammation, lowering heart attack risk. You now have information most people never learn because it's not profitable to teach. You know what's causing your issues, the exact mechanisms, and precisely what to do. This is what real home remedies for seniors look like when backed by science. Start with raw, unprocessed honey, the cloudy kind that might crystallize. Commercial honey is heated to 160 degrees, destroying 90% of beneficial compounds. Use freshly ground cloves when possible. Pre-ground cloves lose 50% potency within 60 days. 1 teaspoon honey to 1/8 teaspoon cloves produces these documented effects. How to mix honey and cloves is simple, but consistency matters more than perfection. Take it consistently, same time daily, for at least 7 days before evaluating. 7-day results vary by person, but most notice at least 2 to 3 improvements within the first week. Pay attention to your body. Sleep improves within 5 nights. Digestion smooths within 1 week. Energy crashes disappear within 7 days. Joints feel better within 18 to 21 days. These signals tell you your body is responding as research predicts. If this helped, subscribe for more information most doctors won't discuss. Information that helps you take control instead of just managing symptoms. If you know someone dealing with these issues or anyone concerned about health after 60, share this. This is specific, actionable information that changes outcomes. Let me know in the comments what you notice after your first week. Tell me which benefit you're tracking. I read every comment. Take care of yourself.